Hit that start button and inhale, lift up, lifting that chin off the chest and lowering down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. A few more. And last one. Excellent. Step, bring that arm around, thumb is turned down, give coming through the air with the back of the hand, internal rotation in that shoulder, helping to stretch through that back. Exhaling as we rotate, pivoting on that foot. Last two. And last one's right here. Take it down to the side and up with that right arm. Down and up. Down and up. Think of leading with that thumb. Pivoting on those feet. Four more. Three. Last two. And last one. Excellent. Other side. Bring it down and lift. Leading with that thumb. Four more. Last two. And last one. Excellent. Take both arms together. We're going to come down, back of the hands towards one another, and up. And back of the arms, and up. Feet are slightly turned out. Still working on some internal, external rotation of those shoulders. We've got 4, 3, last two, and last one. Excellent. We're going to plie side to side, bringing those arms over, shortening the distance between the ribs and the hips. Four more each side. And 3. Last two, we'll meet over here on that right side. Last one, come on back to that right side. Right to left. We've got 4, 3, we're gonna zip up the legs. 2, last one, staying here. We're going to give ourselves that nice little contraction, shortening the distance between those ribs and the hips. Last two, and last one. Step it out, roll those shoulders down and back, over to the other side. There we go, right to left. And 4, 3. Last two. Last one. Come on up, zip up those legs once again. Tucking that tailbone under. Think of rounding out through the spine slightly. Last 4, 3, 2, and last one. Excellent. Release those shoulders down. Grab a quick drink and your band. All right, come into that nice, excuse me, plie position, toes turned out. Exhale, pulling down with those arms. Gently pulling out at the wrist. Last 2, last one. Excellent. So we're going to come over to the side, down in the center, over to the other side. So think of pulling with that left hand, pulling the right hand over, down, pulling with the right hand, pulling the left arm over. Inhaling and exhaling. Four more. The last 2. The last one. Excellent. Not quite done with those hands. I'm going to take the strap this way. Left hand on that right shoulder. Come into that nice lunge. Right leg back. And give you that nice tricep push down. Have the wrist nice and locked. 4, 3, 2, last one. We're not quite done with that arm. Take that left hand on the stomach, right hand holding onto that strap, elbow elevated away from and abducted. So we're coming into that nice external rotation. Think of having that elbow on a pedestal. Last 2, last one. Excellent. Now put that right hand on the left shoulder, bound underneath. So we've got the thumbs up and then turn it down on that shoulder. Left leg comes back and elbow is sticking back, pressing down. We've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Shrug that shoulder, bring that strap on to the belly, elbows elevated, abducted, and on that pedestal. Exhale as you rotate it out. We've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Excellent. Release. Grab another quick drink. And then grab your ball. Coming up against a wall. Starting at about the hips, kind of rolling it down into a nice, not quite full squat, but into a squatted position. And we're just going to pull back. So we're pushing back into the ball, letting it pull us forward. Once you find that nice little rhythm, you're going to push back, tuck that tailbone. Shortening the distance between the ribs and the hips. You may even feel like you need to bring that up a little higher. As you press back, Give yourself that nice little tuck. Legs stay nice and solid. 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Excellent. Come on up and take it under one hand. I'm going to stand so that arm is perpendicular to your body. And you're just going to start with some circles. Nice and easy. We've got 4, 3. We're going to change directions in 2. And last one, change directions. Four, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Leg closest to the wall comes forward into that nice lunge position. You're going to turn, get close enough that you can hold onto that ball as it touches the wall. Turn back to center. Exhale, reach for that wall. We've got 4, 3, last 2, last 1. All right, hopefully your ceiling's not too high. We're gonna come back, kind of roll, almost think of rolling it down the back of the head, that nice little tricep, ooh. Just to that 90-degree bend-ish. We've got 4, 3, 2 more. And last one, excellent. Over to the other wall. Hand is perpendicular to the body. Feet are a little wider than hip distance apart. Shoulders stacked over those hips. Nice little tuck in the tailbone. Everything is engaged. And start with that circle. Four, 3, and 2. Last one, change directions. We've got 4, 3, and 2. Last one, excellent. Leg closest to the wall comes to the front. And you're gonna rotate, reaching towards that wall with the ball. Inhale, center. Exhale, over. Last 8. 4 more. And last one. Excellent. Bring that ball up. Once again, avoiding that ceiling. Hopefully your ceiling's tall enough, and come back behind the head. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And last one. Excellent. Great job. Grab another drink. And then we'll find a seat on our ball. Shifting the hips side to side. Think of really giving yourself that little crunch as you shift and shorten the distance between the ribs and the hips, getting into those obliques a little bit more. Think of pulling that shoulder back and down, getting into those different vectors, those attachments. We've got 4 and 3. Last 2 and last one. Coming on to our tummies over the ball. So start on the knees, coming up and over. So choose your level, so you can keep your knees down or you can have them lifted. Hands to the floor. You'll think of lifting with the elbows, turning the hands, and then coming to that Superman, bringing them back, turning them down. Pull the shoulder blades towards the spine, down towards the pockets, and then reach up. Oh, external rotation as we reach, internal rotation as we come to the floor. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale. One more. Last 2. And last one. Excellent. Releasing those knees down, moving into some stability. So keeping on the knees for just a moment, finding that nice little balance. We're just going to tuck the tailbone and release. So you're kind of pushing into the ball, squeezing those elbows towards the hips. Think of lengthening through the back. More than the crunching in the front. Four more. Last 2. And last one. Excellent. Find your balance on the ball, pushing into it with those arms. We're going to lift one leg as you push up. So you're just holding here, pushing into the ball as if we're trying to lift that other leg, but we're not going to just yet. We're just balancing with the single knee, pushing into that ball with the elbows, as if we're trying to lift that knee. We're like at that edge of lifting. Keeping those abdominals engaged. 3, 2, 1, and release that knee down. Take the ball around in a circle. Change direction. Excellent. Finding yourself centered once again. Pressing into the ball, shoulders back and down. Lift the opposite leg and then push down as if you're trying to lift out of that other leg, but we're not going to. We're just at that point where we're engaging just before we lift. Keeping everything isometrically engaged. got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing that knee down. Excellent. Coming onto our chest, reaching those knees up off the floor now. So we are on the toes, the balls of our feet, fingertips just gently touching the floor. We're going to gently lift up one at a time, flexing, pressing through that heel towards the ceiling, keeping the face forward, looking down at the floor. Four more. Each side, that is. Last 2. Last one this side. And last one this side. All right, we're going to lead with the elbows and come back down. Stabilizing with the lower body. Think of a reverse fly. Just moving those shoulder blades along the rib cage. We've got 3, 2, and last one. Holding here. Think of engaging, pushing through those fingertips like you were before. We're going to turn the head to one side while we hold here. Check in, gently tuck the tailbone under, lengthening through the back. Feel that stretch in the back of the hamstrings and the calves. Looking over, looking over. Release down as you come back to center. Roll those shoulders back and down. Engaging, lifting up, leading with the elbows. Engage those hands. Turn the head over to the other side. Three, 2, 1. Excellent. And release down. Bring that ball back. Now lay on our backs. Bringing that ball underneath our feet. We'll be doing some bridging. You'll love it. All right. So bringing that ball underneath the feet, walking it into the glutes. Think of walking the shoulder blades up and underneath the body. Palms are forward. Digging in with the heels. The ball is up to the glutes, flexing the feet, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Think of almost having like the top of the calf, bottom of the hamstring, just barely leaves as you lift the floor and then drive it up. So think of coming up and over the ball. We've got 4, 3, 2 more. And last one. Excellent. Turn those feet out, walk them in, bring the knees in and out. So we're pushing into the ball, pushing out, bringing it in, bringing the knees in, pushing it out. In, out, pushing it out. Pushing into the ball, pushing down and out, pushing down and out. We've got 4 and 3. 2 more. And last one. Excellent. Bring it up. Bring the other leg up and down to the top of the toe. So we're pushing down with the one leg while we're lifting up with the other, lowering down and lifting. Exhale as you lift, both feet are flexed. Four more. Last two. And last one. Excellent. Release. Rotate through those ankles. Change direction. Same leg, same side. This time we're going to add some horizontal abduction. All right, so stack those feet. We're going to lift up, out, in, and down. Up, out, in, and down. Feet stay flexed. Inhale, center, exhale, close. Inhale, center, exhale, open to the side. Still push into that ball. Halfway there. Last three. Two more. And last one here. Last one here. Excellent. Release down. Change legs, change sides. So we're pushing down with the other leg. Opposite leg on top. Palms are up. Shoulders are shifted underneath us. Lift and lower. Exhale as you lift. Inhale, lower. I said that backwards. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Halfway there. Really think of pulling them apart. Last three, two, and last one. Excellent. Rotate through those ankles. Whoo. Move them around. Excellent. Same leg, same side. Pushing in, flexing the foot, bring it up. Abduction, bring it in, lower it down. Up, abduction, in and down. Inhaling back to that center spot above the hips. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Four more. Last two. And last one. Excellent. Ooh. Rotate through those ankles. Great job. All right, bring that ball in. Heel on there. Bring the other leg up on top. Give yourself that nice little force stretch. Relaxing that ankle on the ball. It's just there to support you as you push down through that hip. Change legs, change sides. Bring that other foot up. Gently pressing down through that hip. And release, moving that ball out, out of the way. Feet are in that nice little windshield wiper. Let them fall to one side. And if you feel so inclined, you can bring that leg up. Give you that little deeper stretch through there. And release that foot, bring the legs back, center, and through to the other side. And again, if you feel so inclined, you can put that foot up on top. And coming up, undoing those feet, rolling to one side, grabbing onto that ankle, dropping the knees towards one another, and gently tucking that tailbone under. If you'd like to deepen that stretch, you can work your hands towards the top of your toes, bending that elbow. And slowly release, bringing that knee to the front. Then we're going to come up, turn the toes towards your head, reach for that inner foot, stretching into that adductor just a little bit. We're going to walk our hand to the outside of the foot, and then we're going to let ourselves roll onto our back. Feel that in the hamstring. If that's too much, you can bring your hand to the calf, bottom leg. Think of pushing through the heel, pulling that hip towards the floor, which may pull that foot away from you. Excellent. And release over to the other side. You're going to sit up and turn. You're welcome to just roll over. And bring that knee in, grabbing that ankle, driving it back. Zipping up those knees, tucking that tailbone. That continues to relax. Bring your hand to the top of that foot, bending the elbow, deepening that stretch if you would like. And as you exhale, bring that knee towards the front, grabbing the inside of that foot, stretching into that adductor just a bit. Walking our hand to that outside and rolling onto our back. Ooh. Once again, you can walk down to that calf, push through that bottom leg, feel the back of that thigh against the floor. Excellent. Bend that knee, bending the other knee, coming up onto all fours, quickly stretching the back of the shoulder. Bring that hand to and through into that nice little thread the needle. Inhale that arm up, exhaling the other side through. Inhaling back into that child's pose, gently pressing back, letting the weight of the arms just kind of stretch, Kind of enfold the face with those elbows. And on your next exhale, bring those hands by the head, gently pushing through the feet into a nice forward fold. One more stretch into those hamstrings and calves. Bending the knees, hands on the knees. Exhale as you round out. Inhale up at the top. Exhale down, and you are done. You made it. Great job. Keep up the good work.